But yeah, so you got to do for yourself in this life. It's kind of like the old from the Ayn Rand books, or I'm a big Rush fan from like the old Rush songs. It's not selfishness, It's like if you don't work on yourself, then how can you possibly have the strength and the will and the energy to take good care of others, to be good to others, to do good for others? So if you build your own health and you build your own wealth, you can protect the people you love. You can take care of the people you love. In a roundabout way. It's like a pay it forward is a phrase I like to use a lot in this life. Anyway, cheers to you, Prime. And don't worry if you have to bail or anything. Thanks so much for saying something and being the first person to actually dare to pop into one of these things and say something, because really nobody else does. But that's really cool. But yeah, it was a good day, riding around, stopping at Batu Balig, and checking out my Aussie buddy. He's like 60, I don't know, early 60s, I guess. But we talk about a lot of shit. We talk about life. We talk about we're a couple of conspiracy theorists shooting the shit, so it kind of goes, how it goes. But we understand each other in that way, so we can get deep about whatever we want. It's kind of cool to have dudes around like that that I can talk to pretty much. And then it's funny because being an American, it's like when I see him, I'm like, hey, what's up, mate? Good day, mate. And I can fuck around and say shit like that with him, so that's always cool. But yeah, but tomorrow we're moving, so I am so glad this fucking wait is over. Every day in this place, we've lived in a tiny ass apartment since 2017. I'm talking small. So in other words, the girls upstairs live in the bed upstairs on the loft. It's just one room with a loft, right? And a tiny little stairway over here to my left. And so, try pulling that off for pretty close to 4 years. And now the girls are getting older, and of course the oldest one now is 15. So it just gets really hard being so crammed in tight and everything, and everybody's just kind of at that point where it's like fucking Merapi, just ready to blow up. And it's going to be great to get in the new place. Granted, it killed my pocketbook a little bit. It's not a huge step up, really. I mean, we're going from like 175 rent to about 260, so in U.S. dollars. So that ain't too bad. What I'm worried about is the electricity, because we're going to have Ase upstairs and downstairs. And then, of course, I had to buy the second water heater, which, that's going to be running. Had to buy a fridge, just all this shit. I when I was back in the U.S., I saved a lot of cash working at the gun range, for the most of 2020. And I pretty much just spent it all. So my dreams of, I kind of wanted another scooter to added to the fleet, because I don't know, ever since I came to Indonesia, I'm in love with scooters and all the different models they have here. And it's like I thought, well, I saved up a little extra, maybe we can throw a different scooter in the fleet. And I've been checking out that Yamaha Gear. I've been checking out the there's another one, Suzuki has one called the Next 2, but they have a crossover type with more off-roady type tires that I thought would be really cool as well. And then of course I've always wanted an NMAX, but when we got our PCX, of course the lady wanted PCX, so I had to cave in, and it's done us wonderful. No complaints there. It's been a fantastic machine, just as our Honda Beat. But I want to try other stuff. I have a weird fascination with the Pheno for some reason. I think that's really cool. Same with Scoopy. I have a fascination with the Scoopy. I don't know why. It's kind of like a chick bike in a way. By the way, when you guys are riding here, whether you're a foreigner or whether you're Indonesian, do you ever notice the Scoopy phenomenon? So here's the thing I noticed with Honda Scoopies, and I'm talking about girls riding. Forget about the guys riding Scoopies. I'm talking about girls riding Scoopies, okay? I'm going to tell you my theory right now on girls who ride Scoopies. Okay, most of them, they're always interesting, no matter what, no matter where, no matter what the situation. They're always interesting because a lot of them kind of just like, take their time and, riding all cute and everything and doing their thing. And, you kind of just, you usually go around, or you just, if you're just having a lazy day, you keep up with traffic or whatever. And most of them are like that. But occasionally, maybe like 20% of them, you'll find these girls on Scoopy, like maybe like a pretty, petite girl or something on a Scoopy or whatever. And you'll think to yourself, oh, okay, here we go, another. And then all of a sudden, there's like a couple trucks ahead and everything else, and boom, she's gone. Like you turn your attention for about 10 seconds, and she's like gone, and you're like, holy shit, that girl on the Scoopy is like fucking tearing this road up, and it just cracks me up. It's a weird phenomenon, a psychological observation of females that ride Scoopies here in Bali. I don't know. Has anybody else noticed that, or am I crazy? Indonesians, please chime in and tell me what you think about that. And if you're a guy that rides a Scoopy, so be it, because I love Scoopies. In fact, when we bought our Honda Beat in 2017, it was really between that and the Scoopy. And again, I lost out because, of course, what the girls want is more important to me. So they wanted the Honda Beat, and I don't regret it. That's been a phenomenal scooter. I mean, just bulletproof, quality, phenomenal, and now at over 12,000 kilometers. But I really, really wanted, and I was willing to pay the extra couple million, to get a Scoopy back then. And that was the year they started putting the wider tires on it. So, and I like that too, because here you don't have to go fast. So it doesn't matter. You can have, 12-inch wheels and have the fatter tires on them, and it's totally fine, because here you never have to go like on a U.S. highway 80 miles per hour or any bullshit like that, But I really enjoyed it. I thought it had a little bit better space on the seat. And that Honda 110cc engine, it's super fast in the Beat. I mean, our Beat will take our PCX off the line easily. Our PCX that engine's just made for torque, so that it will get the PCX, it will lug that big thing around, Anyway, so I wanted, when we first got our Honda Beat, I actually wanted a Scoopy, and I wanted to test ride a Pheno. I just think there's something about the old school type gauges on the Pheno with the separate gas gauge. It looks really cool. And then, so then I lost out, of course. But I don't regret it. I love the Beat, and the only thing I modified was the suspension. Everything else is stock, except for a couple of added Honda parts. And then in 2019, when we got the PCX, it was like, I was dead set on an NMAX. I'm a big Yamaha fan. I ride a Yamaha in the USA, and I was just dead set on the PCX, and I know that 155 Blue Core motor, and I think it's the dominant scooter in that size, even though the PCX has now went to they call it a 160, it's like 157 cc's or something, but even though Honda, added a couple more valves and, finally got up to speed on all that, I still think, because we have at our apartment here, before we move tomorrow anyway, in the parking garage, there's plenty of new NMAXs and there's plenty of new PCXs, and I still like the NMAX. And I think it pushes just a teensy bit more torque still, even after Honda upgraded the engine. So anyway, there's that. And we got no viewers right now, so this is going to end up being a video for somebody to listen to me rant later. It's 7:30 already. I'm hoping the girls will pop in soon, and then maybe one of them can say hi. They're really, really shy on video. You don't see the girls in the video because, well, there's a lot of reasons, but one of which simply being they're shy. Sometimes I'll show Mama in the mask, but I like to keep my family kind of protected and not on too much social media. just the way the world is going and everything else. You know, there's a lot of fucking nuttos out there. So, nutters is what I meant to say. Salamat malam, my friend. Good to see you. So I was just yapping away about, you know, it being a good day. Went over to see my Aussie friend in Batu Belig, and then it was a really great ride, but I forgot to bring the GoPro, and then I was talking about scooters because I have a fascination with scooters when I'm here in Indonesia, and yeah, I wish I could say more. I've been learning more Indonesian words though, like wait, is it kardus? Kardus, because we've been using boxes to move, and then mandi, because our oldest girl, you know, she's always late to get in the shower, so we're like, come on, mandi, you know. And so I've been learning that, and this is our big kuching right here. That's Zizi, big fat kuching Zizi that we've had for 2 years now, since he was a baby. But I'm trying to learn, but it's like the girls don't teach me. You know, they want, you know, Mama speaks English really, really well, and that was on her own. Even her accent and pronunciations are really good, better than some people walking around back in the States, some idiots walking around back in the States. But the girls, you know, she wanted it so that the girls would hear English all the time and kind of get it in their head and learn English. So, which is good, I agree. But then I kind of got screwed because I want to learn Bahasa, but when they speak to each other, it's so fast. And I'm trying to, I listen and I listen and I listen for certain words, and then I can kind of tell what they're talking about when I can pick out certain words. So I have this little trick, for example. So if they're talking and I hear a lot of ini or itu, and I watch their eyes or their hands, and so like if they're just saying like, something itu, and then I see where they point or where they're looking, and then I know they're talking about the, you know, the cat, or they're talking about the pillow, or they're talking about the, you know, the food, or whatever the case may be. So that's the way I'm trying to learn, but then they talk so fast that I get all screwed up. So I'll hear them having a conversation, and then I'll just randomly just interrupt the conversation, and I'll try to repeat what I heard, and I'll totally screw it up, and then they all start laughing at me. And it's actually kind of funny because I really do screw it up pretty bad. And but that's my way of learning. And then I put this app on the phone, you know, learn Indonesian, but it's going through all these different nouns, like it's going through like eyes, nose, mouth, ears, shit like that. And it's like, okay, it's great to learn all these things, but I can't put any of this shit in a sentence. And if I run into somebody just randomly, I'm not going to talk about, you know, parts of the body and you know, just stupid shit like that, right? So anyway, I kind of have to hey Kyra, good to see you too. Kyra and Nawan, good to see both of you. And you know, and it's hard, like that time when I was trying to get, see, I have this thing where with vehicles, I have to wash my own vehicles. Maybe it's a man thing or an American thing. It's an American thing, right? When you have a vehicle, you take care of it, you wash it, you know. But when I came back from the U.S. recently, our PCX was so dirty. I mean, it was so dirty. I just wanted to take it to a car wash, and I had no idea how to say it. So I'm like, I was getting coached. Okay, cuci motor. So, all right, fine, cuci motor. So I know there's one in our neighborhood somewhere. So I get on the bike and I'm riding around. And I'm looking around like, cuci motor, for real. I filmed this in one of my videos, you know, and it was really kind of embarrassing because I turned down this one street and there's a group of guys over on the side, you know, and they're all Indonesian dudes and they're all looking at me like, what's he doing down this street, you know? But then they turned out to be really cool. I stopped and I was like, hey, cuci motor, and they're like, yeah, back that way. And then I pulled up and then, you know, I said, hey, cuci motor. And anyway, there was this girl there, really, really nice young lady, and she spoke pretty good English and helped me out, and, you know, it was just a really good thing. Anyway, today was a good day. It really was, to get out to Batu Belig and see my friend. And tomorrow we are moving, so Kyra, if you're still in here, or Nawan, I don't know which one of you is still in here, but that's kind of the big news. What I'm really happy about, I've kind of felt like like a prisoner in this little apartment since I got back, you know, and it's burning ass hot in here. The AC is shit, you know, so it's hot well into the night. It's hard to sleep. And we've been waiting on this move now for a month, and finally we got everything ready to go. And I'm talking like the plumbing, the electricity, the water pump for the well, and everything else. So yeah, tomorrow's actually moving day. Finally is moving day. So in the next video there should be a lot about, you know, moving. So that's a good question, Nawan. It's Honda because that's what my girls chose. I'm a big fan of Yamaha. I have a Yamaha in the United States, and I was talking earlier before you came in, and I said that when we first, in 2017, that was when we bought our first scooter here. It was from the Honda showroom, and it was a Honda Beat. And at the time, I really wanted a Scoopy. Granted, I know that's kind of a girly type scooter in some ways. It just seemed more functional for our family at the time for a reasonable price. But they wanted a Honda Beat, okay? And plus I like some of Yamaha's offerings. I've always been a big fan of the Fino. They used to have it in the US like 10 years ago. So I've always liked the Fino. It's a little bit bigger, a little more roomier, and a 125 engine versus a 110. But then in 2019, I was dead set on an NMAX. I was absolutely 100% certain I wanted an NMAX, like, you know, NMAX. But then, of course, we went back to Honda, and my girls wanted the PCX over the NMAX, and I didn't want it. I knew at the time it had a 2-valve engine. You know, it was lacking a little bit at the high end, and I don't know, I prefer the NMAX, and I wish we would have got the NMAX. But you know, that said, our Hondas they've been running flawlessly. They've done us wonderful here. I can't complain really. But yeah, if it were up to me, we'd be riding probably an NMAX and I don't know, maybe a Fino or maybe a Scoopy or something like that as our backup. But yeah, and then I thought, you know, before we made this move, or before we decided to move, I saved up a little bit of extra money when I was back in the States working, because we're not a rich family at all. And I thought, well, I could probably spend that. Maybe we can add a scooter to our fleet, you know, especially now because we're going to have a driveway where we can park them all at the new place. And I thought, well, I was looking at the Yamaha Gear. That one really looks cool, you know, I mean, entry level, of course, but I like the pegs in the front so I can rest my feet up, you know, on the thing. And so I was looking at the Yamaha Gear, and I've always liked the Suzuki Next2, but nobody rides Suzuki here. And the Next2 has that crossover type with the more off-roady type tires on it, and I really like that as well. And then the Aerox, I've always loved the Aerox. I thought, man, what if I can afford to buy an Aerox when I come? But all those dreams just went out the window because I spent, you know, everything I saved up basically to get my girls moved into you know, a better place. But you know, they earned it. They deserved it. We've been here for 3.5 years and almost 4 years, and it's been really hard in this one bedroom with just a loft. So, but yeah, you know, why Honda? Quality, pretty much. Nothing terribly exciting. Although our Honda Beat is pretty fast for a 110, I gotta say. It easily off the line, it's quicker than the PCX. The PCX is all torque just to get you around. But my Yamaha in the USA, it's faster than the Hondas here. And Yamaha's the same quality, but here people seem to ride Honda. What I don't understand is the Vario, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of the Vario. I never have been. You know, I rented one time just to see if I would like it, and I hated it. It just felt like a bigger Honda Beat to me, is all it felt like. And I'd rather just have our Honda Beat. Granted, it's small. It really does feel small. But But yeah, I've never really kind of got the whole thing about the Vario. Always kind of puzzled me how they sell so many of those. I suppose the 150 would be cool, but they're still using the 2-valve motor, so I don't know. I don't know. I think Aerox or NMAX was what I would go buy if I had the money to just put another scooter in our fleet. Sorry that answer was so long. So yeah, we're really excited. We're moving from the neighborhood at the very end of Gunung Sebutan over to the neighborhood of Gunung Patas tomorrow. Yeah, really tomorrow. I think the move is really going to happen, and we're really excited about it. So finally we can get settled, and then I can start making videos again. Or, you know, I already got myself a new backpack and loaded it up with all my stuff so I can go riding around and exploring. And no, I was never an instructor at the gym. I just go to the gym. In fact, they changed the gym here, and they did a really, really good job, the gym at this apartment. But they changed it into a fitness center, and they have a lot of instructors and a lot of classes. And so I'm the type of person where it's just, when I feel like going to the gym, I just want to get in there, do some weights, maybe 30 minutes, and then get out. So when I went down to the gym here, it was always too crowded. And, you know, sometimes what I wanted to use wasn't available. It just didn't fit for me. It was a great place, great people, really great people. But it just didn't fit for me. So I walked about a block down that way, and I found another gym, and it was like less than half the price. The equipment is really, really old, and there's no ASE in there, but it's good because you kind of just sweat it all out, you know, and it's been working out really, really well. So, but I was never an instructor at the gym. I did work at a gun range back home in the USA though, so that was more my thing. And then when I get back to the USA, I'm always kind of lazy. So when I'm in Bali, I kind of try to take advantage of being motivated and, you know, keep healthy and keep strong and stuff like that. But no, I was never a gym instructor. That wouldn't be my thing. Sad to say. And I'm not a big guy either. You know, I've had to live my whole life being a skinny guy, you know, and there's some pretty damn big bullies out there, and that just isn't me, you know. So I've always had to just keep my strength up, just to be on par, or just to be on the same level as people, especially when you're looking after girls, you know. Pardon me. Why is Bintang the best beer in the world? I'm not kidding. This is like 10 times better than USA Budweiser. One of the things I miss the most when I leave, if I ever have to go home and work, is Bintang. It's such a good beer, and I just have a little bit left. That's okay, because we can keep going on this live stream for a little bit. This is so cool. 2 people popped in today. 3 people, actually. Nobody ever comes in here and says anything, so I feel like an asshole when I'm doing a live stream. Like, just post it up later after I edit out all the crap. It's all crap anyway. Fuck it, you know. But yeah, unfortunately I was not an instructor. Although I could probably teach people how to shoot. Although I'm not terribly good. But I do have my concealed carry in the USA, so... Forgive me, bad habit, but the damn nicotine grabs you. In fact, they stopped selling Juul in Bali, and so today when I was out riding around Batu Belig, I stopped at like 2 mini marts and 2 Circle Ks, one of them where the old Warung Italia used to be, and I was looking, and they had something similar to this. So I bought the little cartridges like this, and it fit in here perfectly, and I thought it was going to work, but it didn't work. So then I had to go to C-Style Vape over on Sunset? I think it's on Sunset, or near Sunset. And I went in there and I bought some mint juice to refill these things, but it's probably going to leak everywhere, so yeah. Just, you know, in life has been crazy. I did a lot of crazy shit when I was young. I'm not young anymore by any means. And now I have girls to take care of, and so I've kind of got myself together. So now I enjoy occasional Bintang, and I do my vape, and that's it. You got to have some vices in life. You've got to have some things that ground you, keep you, just everything's gonna be okay, like, okay, that guy really pissed me off today, god damn it, but then you just calm down, relax, just have a vape, it'll be okay, You gotta have peace in life. You gotta find your inner peace in life, I think that's one of the best rewards a person can give themselves. If you can go through this life and just, find the things that you enjoy, really, and find your inner peace. If that takes a little bit of meditation, if that takes, certain discovery. For me, discovery was a big part of it, because when I first came to Indonesia, it really opened my eyes that the world is such a wonderful place, and experiencing different cultures and different people really, really did so much good in me, especially here in Bali. So that's some advice that you all can take with you, because it's just, I think people for the most part are good. People are good, but I think there's an element of I don't want to use the word evil because I'm not really religious, but there's a certain element of toxicity in the human race right now. And I'm not talking about Indonesia, I'm talking about the whole world, particularly USA, where I'm from, and just, all over the place. And, right now everybody's living in fear because of the Rona, and I don't believe in any of it. No offense, and by the way, that's just my opinion. That you can have your opinion, and I respect you too. That's nothing to be ashamed of. How far? Well, here in Bali, we've ridden to, let's see, I've ridden out to Ahmed, to Agung, to Singaraja, Lavina, plenty of times to Ubud, up the east side, all the beaches up the east side, beyond Sanur, and up. Ridden most of the north end of the island. The only place I haven't ridden is the most east part of Bali. Wait, which would be that way, east. So that's yeah. But I've ridden pretty far. We've taken trips with about 3 hours of riding, probably about 3 hours of riding. And I love when you go over the windy mountain roads, and because it gets cooler up there, you're not so hot, you feel good up there. And then I'm absolutely in love with monkeys. I adore monkeys, and so I'm always pulling over to just sit with monkeys for a while. I think that's amazing. That in America we don't have monkeys, so here it's like, I love monkeys. I didn't grow up with monkeys, but now that I'm here, they're here, so it's like, may as well enjoy them, But yeah, I've ridden all over Bali, and then in the States, I ride, let's see, I put about 3,500 miles on my Yamaha in the States, but I only got it a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I think. So between being back and forth, I'd say that's kind of a long stretch. But see, I never got into riding until I came to Indonesia, because my life before was very, I'm not so proud of it. I did a lot of crazy things when I was young, lived a pretty wild life, and came pretty close to the edge, pretty close to the cliff. And so yeah, I'm not too proud of that. So I always thought in my younger life, well, and by the way, hi Annie, another viewer, great, this is awesome. I've never had a couple of viewers in here, this is so fun. Anyway, so riding a motorcycle or a scooter wasn't something that I really wanted to add to my list of crazy things to do in life. I figure life is already crazy enough, I don't need to kill myself another way. But then when I came to Indonesia, I realized, okay, I instantly fell in love riding a scooter. And then it just kind of branched off from there. This place just made, and plus all the models of scooters that you all have here, in the United States, we barely get anything. We have the Honda PCX, we have um, the Yamaha, I have a Yamaha S Max, not N Max, but S Max, and X Max, and we used to have the T Max, but they don't make that anymore in the States. And then, so if you want a big scooter in the USA, you have to get a used one, or you have to get a Kymco AK550, as far as scooters go. So our selection in the States sucks. But when you come here to Bali, it's like you see all these different scooters, and every year, be it Honda, be it Yamaha, there's always new models coming out, and it's just so much fun to see them, and I always want them. Of course, I can't afford them. I'm kind of a poor bully, but yeah, I just fell in love with motorbikes because of Indonesia. I blame Indonesia on that. Something I never thought I'd be interested in life, and it just happened. And there it is. So it's almost 8 o'clock. The girls should be home soon. They're taking a while. I hope everything's okay. Let me just double check my phone and make sure they're not lost or something. Oh, come on. Why are you doing this? There we go. Oh, okay. Sorry. Anyway, so yeah, we've ridden pretty far. As far as trips around Bali, we've ridden all of the island except for the far east. I would like to ride to Java someday, probably on my own without the girls. Just take like a week and go explore. And I don't know if that will happen or not, because this move, it really took a lot out of me. It really took a lot. Like I said, I'm not a rich bully, so it really took a lot of money that I saved, and which means I'm gonna eventually have to go back to the USA and work, and put all that money back into savings. So I don't know if I'm gonna make it this time around, but I'd like to get a good ride into, at the very least, East Java, and see how far I can get and what I can see and the people I can meet and stuff like that. That would be really, really cool. And I'm probably, since I spent all this money on moving, and I can't buy my dream Aerox or NMAX or anything now, I'm probably gonna have to ride the Honda Beat, which is a tiny little scooter to be riding that far, but fuck it, it'll make it. So be it, and I'll just bring a backpack. It'll all work out somehow. And GPS, because I put phone mounts on our scooters, so that mainly for me. The girls don't even need them, but I need them because I'll get lost. That's one thing. I don't know how you all are so good at riding the traffic here. To me, it's like chaos. It's total chaos. And when I'm riding alone, I get uncomfortable sometimes because, like, if you're coming up to a light and there's hella people backing up, and maybe one side can make the left turn, but you have to stop if you're gonna go straight or right, and then I'm squeezed in the middle, or I'm like trying to, all these people are coming up on the left, and I'm like, okay, maybe I should just get in this line. Then all of a sudden a big truck turns, like, I'm coming this way, and I'm like, oh shit, and I gotta squeeze back in again. So all that stuff is very, for a bully like me who rides on the other side of the street in the USA, I gotta be honest, it's very intimidating. It's not as easy for me as it is probably for some of you, because you're so used to it. Yeah, I get a little worried about that sometimes. And here also, when people honk at you, here it's a courtesy, right? So here you use your horn a lot, to notify people that you're coming by. Maybe there's a car pulling out. It's just a common thing to use your horn. But in the United States, when you use your horn in a car or a motorcycle or whatever, it's not good. Usually somebody is saying, hey, fuck you, they're like, usually it's a conflict or road rage, road rage. So here it's very different. You have to kind of keep a very calm attitude and just kind of an understanding of the different just the way it is here, you know. But there's been times in traffic where I've been, you know, quite honestly pissed off, you know, and like maybe somebody's, you know, looking at me or honking at me like I did something wrong when I actually was just being safe and doing what I'm supposed to do. And you know, but then, you know, you just ride another kilometer and then you cool off and then everything's fine. So yeah. Let's see. So what else can we talk about? So yeah, the big move tomorrow. That's the biggest thing in my mind right now. I'm so finally excited to get out of this tiny apartment after almost 4 years in this tiny apartment. I'm really excited to get out. It's gonna be such a long day tomorrow. Moving is a pain in the ass. In any country, in any part of the world, moving is a real pain in the ass. In the USA especially, and I've moved plenty of times. I've helped friends move plenty of times. I drove a big ass, I'm talking a big truck, huge truck. I drove from California to Montana in the USA when I helped my father move from California to Montana. And that was a 2-day drive, so about 20 hours of driving. And you know, even that was a pain in the ass. But this move here, it's been especially frustrating for me because we've been waiting for things to be remodeled at the new house, and it kind of came along slower than we thought. And you know, it just, I'm just so happy that tomorrow it's finally going to be done. It's going to be a long, crazy, hard day tomorrow, but at the same time, when it's over, it's going to be such a relief to just turn on that Ase in the master bedroom and just relax and kick my feet up and, you know, play some Rush music and just be like, okay, we finally got it done. And you know, it's going to feel so good. And yeah, so that's kind of the big news. I'm trying to think of what else has been going on lately. That's pretty much it. This move has been totally messing with my head now for, what, a month about. Oh, and then today I had to go visit the agent because I'm due for an extension. I can't believe time is going by so fast. I have to already get my first visa extension for this particular time here. I would love to have a Kitas. I would love to have a Kitas and just stay here, but I'm not a rich bully, so I actually have to go back to the United States, and I have to, you know, work and refill my savings, and then I can come back, and back and forth and back and forth. That's how it's been since 2017. And you know, it's hard when I see, you know, other bullies who like can just stay here as long as they want because maybe they have a good retirement, or you know, maybe they just they just have a lot of money so they can stay here, or maybe they have a YouTube channel that makes money. You know, like this YouTube channel doesn't make any money, you know, at all. There's not even ads as far as I know. And so I can't, you know, I don't make money off of YouTube. I don't work here because, you know, I'm not a yoga instructor. I'm not a diving instructor. You know, my last job was at a shooting range. I've worked security before at airports, Oakland Airport mostly. You know, I've worked for the courts. I was a process server for many years, and you know, I can't do any of that here. So my skill set is basically not needed here. Plus, I wouldn't want to take a job that a local person could be doing anyway. You know, that wouldn't be right. That just wouldn't be right. I don't want to do that. I wish I could afford to invest. If I can afford to invest, I definitely would invest in Bali, especially after the whole bullshit Rona goes away and all these ridiculous face diapers come off. Then I think, you know, that will be a good time when people start coming back. It's probably not going to be, let's be honest, it ain't going to be until 2022. Because even if Bali opens up for tourism in July or August, it's not going to matter because Australians and Kiwis can't leave their country. Canadians are trapped in their country. So you're only going to be able to get Americans, some areas of Europe, Eastern Europe, Russia, Ukraine, and what else? And Chinese, right? So, you know, you're going to miss your biggest dollar, which is probably close between Chinese and Aussies and Kiwis, right? So you know, it's going to be forever till they get back here. But making an investment here right now, maybe in a villa or something to that extent, would be a really good investment, which I'd do if I had the money, but I don't. I just, you know, this move pretty much cost me all our fun money for this time, so we're not really taking any trips this time. You know, I really wanted to go back to Lombok for about a week. Won't be doing that now with the family. If it were just me, I would, because then it's not so expensive. But when there's 4 of you, you know, it's like multiplying the cost by 4. So it's really, really hard to do. I would have liked to have seen more of Jakarta, where I did my quarantine, but you know, I needed to get back to my girls so bad that I couldn't really spend any extra time away from them, you know, and plus I'm only on a 6-month visa, so I didn't want to use all the time, you know, without them. But hopefully after this move is done, things can start, you know, moving and shaking, forgive the term. And yeah, so anyway, I think the girls are going to be home soon. I'll probably wrap this up unless anybody else has another question. I'd be happy to answer, or a criticism, or anything. And forgive me, I need a quick vape. And better finish this before it gets too warm. Best beer in the world, Bintang star. Good job, Indonesia, on making a fantastic beer. There's this YouTube channel I watch once in a while called The Monkeys, and it's a bully like me, but Polish, married to a Balinese woman, and they call themselves The Monkeys, and I think they're just so awesome. I would love to run into these people because I think me and him would get along, but every time I see him with a beer in his hand, it's always a Radler, and I'm thinking to myself, dude, you got to get a real Bintang, not a Radler. And anyway, I just think it would be so fun if he and I bought him a round of beers, you know, just to screw around, and whatever. I'm just talking now. But yeah, I'll probably wrap this up soon because the girls are going to be home soon, and but like I said, I'll leave it open another minute while I have a vape for any questions or anything that you might have. I thank you all so much, whether you're still here or not. I thank you all so much for coming in. Anybody who said something in the chat, I appreciate you so much. I consider you a friend. Thank you very much. These live streams, it's something for me to do. It's fun for me. It's just enjoyable to hear from different people out there, even if it's just a question or a comment. It's really, really nice. I don't make any money from YouTube, so this is all just personal. You know, it's good vibes for all of us is what it is. So yeah, I guess that's let's see, let me go through the thing and if there's anything I didn't answer. Yeah, that's about it really. So next time we do one of these live streams, it'll be from the new place, and hopefully in the next video I'll be able to show you what the new place looks like. The neighborhood is near Patas, Gunung Patas I think is the name. I won't say what street number, but yeah, it's around there. So which is closer to the girls' Taekwondo school. I will say this, for those of you who know very well Bali, where the big tail end of the DC-10 with the engine and the tail up there, if you know where that is, I can see it from the new house. So there's your hint. I'll give that hint. Which I'm an aviation enthusiast. One of my biggest regrets in life is that I didn't become a pilot, so, or at least didn't get my license. And that's one thing I really regret when I was younger. So the fact that I can see that plane is really, really cool. I can imagine sitting out on the back porch and just enjoying the view of that and just cooling off after the sun goes down and it's not, 100,000 degrees outside, because Bali is truly right next to the sun somehow. But yeah. So I guess I'll wrap it up then. I thank you all so much. I appreciate you all. And thank you for having me, in this amazing country. I'm very, very happy to be here, and I don't take any of it for granted ever. I'm very, very fortunate. Worked hard in life, worked very hard in life, but you know, to be able to have some of that enjoyment here with you all is a huge, huge thing for me. It means a lot to me. It really means a lot to me. Um, I've never met anyone but good people here, and that to me is it's more than I can say about my home country, and I really, really enjoy that. So thank you all for coming. Um, I hope to see you again. Like I said, after we get the move done, we'll try this one. We'll try this again, okay? Probably around the same time, and it'll be from the new place. And hopefully, the next video will show part of the move and other things, which, if I'm lucky, I'll have done in a week. Let's be honest. So yeah, thank you all very, very much. Gonna wrap this one up, and you all have a wonderful night. If you're riding anywhere, please be safe. I'm not riding anywhere because I had a Bintang, and I'm not going to ride after I had a Bintang, so I'm going to be good like that, and everybody stay safe, everybody stay smart, and I will catch you all in the next one. Thank you all so much. You all mean a lot to me. Thank you.